Good afternoon all. In previous lecture we had discussed with AIDS, detailed information of AIDS. Let us discuss with the cancer. As you know that cancer means uncontrolled cell growth or cell division. In this chapter I had discussed with you that generally the cells are destroyed is equal to new cells are formed there. This is in controlled manner, but here due to any reason this control is lost. And one more else, contact inhibition. This is the most important word. See, generally the cell is formed. The newly formed cell is coming in contact with the surrounding cell. The newly formed cell is now coming in contact with surrounding cell. As a result, growth is inhibited of this cell because number of cells are in adequate amount as well as the cell growth is inhibited. So this is known as contact inhibition. So normally contact inhibition is there, but it is lost in cancer. Fine. Contact inhibition is lost in cancer. Now, as a result, uncontrolled cell growth, tumor is formed. Tumor is of two types, benign and malignant. As you know that benign tumor, it is localized. Do not spread to other area. And it is curable. Fine. Benign tumor is a stable one, localized in the particular area, but don't spread into the other area. It is curable one, whereas malignant tumor, it is chronic one. Generalized and spreads to other parts also, and incurable. Fine. Here malignant tumor in that. In malignant tumor only, neoplasm or neoplastic or cancerous cells, tumor cells are formed. As well as you know that spreading of cancerous cells throughout the body is known as metastasis. Spreading of the cancerous cells throughout the body, that is known as metastasis. And here the most feared property, that is metastasis of the malignant tumor, here it is there. Fine. Now the types of tumor or types of cancer. You know that here are three types of cancer. Carcinoma, sarcoma, and leukemia. Find majority three types of cancer: leukemia as well as lymphoma. So I explained these three types of tumor in NCERT class, but here we will take it in detail. So let us discuss in detail about one by one. Carcinoma. Carcinoma occurs in the epithelial cells. Here it is most common seen in skin and epithelial lining of the internal organs of the body as well as glands. Fine. So here example, so many examples are there. Brain carcinoma, gastric carcinoma, that is stomach cancer, brain carcinoma, gastric carcinoma, that is stomach cancer, lung carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, that is known as gland tumor, oral carcinoma, colon carcinoma, cervical carcinoma, cervical means not a neck region, fine. Cervical carcinoma, that is cervix. Cervix is mouth of the uterus, fine. So cervical carcinoma and breast carcinoma. So these are the types of carcinoma types cancer. Here few points are there. Breast cancer in female as well as prostate cancer in males are very common in the world. Along with the breast cancer, uterine cancer is also common here, but now vaccine is available to prevent the uterine cancer. Fine. So that's why uterine cancer is not that much common, but it is commonly seen in few cases. But throughout the world, breast cancer and prostate cancer, so breast cancer in female and prostate cancer in male is very common, but
हेलो ना હું ના હું નથી તો મમ્મી કદાચ બહાર વાત કરતા હતા અહીંયા
In India, cervical cancer in females. Cervical means uterine cervix, uterine mouth. In females, and oral cancer, mouth cancer, due to tobacco chewing, snuffing. Okay, so oral cancer, these are very common in India. All the cancer death out of this all, 31.1% death occurs in the female, in the male, whereas death due to the cancer and especially due to the lungs, 25% in women, fine, or females. So this is the death ratio due to lung cancer in men and women. So this is about the carcinoma. Now another point, here it is there in the carcinoma itself. Melanoma, also known as melanocarcinoma, cancer in melanocyte, cancerous growth of the melanocyte, and melanocytes are the types of the skin cells. So this is about the carcinoma. In NCERT lecture I had explained you that melanoma is carcinoma, but carcinoma is not melanoma. Please remember this sentence. So this is about the carcinoma. Now sarcoma. you know that here germinal layers are formed. We have three germinal layers: outermost ectoderm, middle one mesoderm, and innermost side endoderm. So, sarcoma type cancer, it is seen in the organs which are originated from the mesoderm. As you know that skeletal system, muscular system, circulatory system and lymphatic system, these four systems are originated from the mesoderm. Okay, so here, but it is very rare in humans. We say that only about 1% of all tumors are of the sarcoma type. Here few examples are there. Bone cancer, it is also known as osteosarcoma. Muscle cancer known as myosarcoma, and lymph node cancer, this is known as lymphosarcoma. Now, third is leukemia and lymphoma. Leukemia and lymphoma, it is the tumor of hemopoietic cells. You know that RBC formation known as hemopoiesis. Okay, so here the tumors of hemopoietic cells known as leukemia. Leukemia is also known as blood cancer, and lymphatic organs cancer, that is known as lymphoma. See, leukemia. Here one type is there known as CML, chronic myelogenous leukemia. Here chronic myelogenous leukemia in that reciprocal translocation between chromosome number 22 and chromosome number 9. The genetic information between the chromosome 22 and 22 and 9 leads to produce the abnormal chromosome number 22. Here, from the chromosome number 9, some genetic material is moved on the chromosome number 22. As a result, abnormal 22nd chromosome is formed, and this is known as Philadelphia chromosome. And long arm is deleted on the chromosome number 22, leads to cause the Philadelphia syndrome. Okay, so Down syndrome related to 21st chromosome, Philadelphia syndrome 22nd, and 23rd chromosomal related problems, Turner syndrome in male, in female, Turner syndrome in female, and Klinefelter syndrome in males. Fine. So here this is known as CML, chronic myelogenous leukemia. Burkitt's lymphoma. Burkitt's lymphoma is known as type of the cancer in the lymphatic organs. Here in this type of the cancer, the reciprocal translocation between chromosome 8 and chromosome 14. So some genetic material move from the chromosome 8 and to the chromosome 14 as well as opposite to it. So this is about the third type, leukemia and lymphoma type of the cancer. So here types of the cancer are over. Okay, now let us discuss the causes of the cancer. Here, genes are present in the protoplasm. Gene for cell growth, cell proliferation. Okay, all these genes are present in the protoplasm. So these are known as proto-oncogenes. So before taking this in detail, causes of cancer known as oncogene. Yes, the study of cancer is known as oncology, and specialist, the expert of the cancer known as oncologist. So gene for cell growth, development and proliferation, these are present here in the protoplasm. So it is known as proto-oncogenes. See here, oncogene and oncogenes. Fine. So please be aware of it. And some cells consist also oncogenes, so known as cellular oncogenes, also known as CONC. This indicates cellular oncogene. In some cells we have genes that inhibit cellular proliferation, tumor suppressor genes. If these are affected, fine. and another genes that regulate programmed cell death. This is known as suicide genes. This is known as tumor suppression gene. Normally, all these genes are normally working on the particular cell. But when the tumor suppressor genes are deactivated, as well as suicide genes are deactivated, but proto-onco genes are activated, then uncontrolled cell growth. Fine. So these are known as biological oncogene. Okay, biological oncogene. You know, prolonged exposure to ionizing radiations like X-rays and gamma rays and non-ionizing radiations like UV rays. Fine. So here the DNA is affected, and affected DNA lost the cell control. Fine. As a result, uncontrolled cell growth is there, leads to cancer. So these are known as physical oncogenes. Fine. And you know that in tobacco, smoke or tobacco, the narcotic chemical is present known as nicotine. Fine. And it causes the cancer, that is known as chemical oncogene. There are 5 times more incidence of the leukemia in Hiroshima and Nagasaki due to radiation effect of nuclear bombing. You know that in the nuclear bombardment we use the radioactive molecule known as uranium. So it creates the very harmful rays, UV rays, and these rays are directly enter inside the cell and affect the DNA. As a result, cancer occur. So I hope you understand this. Fine. Here I can stop now. Next thing we will discuss in the next lecture.